Today's scripture is James chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. And this begins section 5 of the book of James, which discusses peace with God and peace with others. We also learn an awful lot about the early church as we read this passage. Remember, James was one of the core leaders of the church, called a pillar of the church. And he asks a question in verse 1 of chapter 4. He says, "From whence come wars and fightings among you?" And then he answers that question with his own question. He says, "Come they not hence even of your lusts that war in your members?" And then he makes a statement that reveals the heart of the early church people that he's talking to. He says, "You lust and have not. You kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet ye have not, because you ask not." Now, many of us have used the last part of that verse completely out of context. We say, well, if you want something, ask for it, because you have not, because you ask not. And that's not the context of this passage at all. What he's describing here is people who are aggressively going after something, trying to fulfill the desires and lusts of their own heart, to the point that they are basically becoming their own God and making choices above others, even taking their lives as if they are God. And they're certainly not asking God of any of this. They're just taking it for themselves. That's pretty brutal, but that does describe what was going on in the very early church here, according to James. What he's getting at here is he's saying you folks are not even asking God or even concerned about asking God for his blessing over what you're doing, because what you're doing is not of God. It is a very personal, selfish thing that you're going after. And he's saying that you have not this fulfillment in your life that you're pursuing because you're not asking God for it. And the reason you're not asking God for it is because you know he's not going to answer the way you want him to. That's quite a way to start chapter 4. But that is a picture of what was going on in the hearts of the people in the early church. We'll continue this in the next lesson. I'm Pastor John, creating community by sharing scripture. God bless. Go tell the world.